respected honorable colleagues, good morning everyone. On behalf of the Nigeria Union of Journalists FCT Council, I sincerely appreciate the Independent National Electoral Commission INEC for convening this important forum ahead of the 2026 FCT Area Council elections. This engagement for me is timely because we must confront a hard truth. Elections are not won only at polling units. Elections are also won and lost in the information space. In today's Nigeria, misinformation spreads faster than facts, and if left unchecked, it can poison public perception, undermine trust in institutions, and threaten the peace we all desire. As journalists, we have a role to play, a sacred duty to democracy. We are not spectators in the electoral process, we are stakeholders. We are the bridge between INEC and the people, and so we must ensure citizens receive information that is accurate, balanced, as well as timely. But beyond that, we must also insist that the environment in which journalists operate is free, is safe, and respectful. So as we approach the election, I appeal to all journalists and media organizations to focus on these key priorities. First, accuracy. Let us verify before we publish. Let us not trade truth for traffic. Breaking news is good, but breaking the society is quite dangerous. Zero tolerance for hate speech and incitement. The FCT is home for all Nigerians, and so we must refuse to be used as tools for division. Our platforms must not become weapons in the hands of desperate politicians. Our reports must heal and not inflame. Fairness, balance, and equal access. We must ensure equitable coverage and access for all political actors. Democracy suffers when the media is captured. The credibility of the press depends on independence, professionalism, and fairness. Aside that, safety and protection of journalists, no compromise. The NUJ stand on this, and we will definitely monitor activities on that day to ensure that no journalist is harassed, no journalist is assaulted, no journalist is threatened or denied access to all information they need. The NUJ will not accept a situation where operators and reporters covering election are treated as enemies. So we therefore call on INEC, security agencies, political parties, and their supporters to respect the media and guarantee the safety of journalists and their equipment before, during, and after the election. Strong INEC media communication and transparency. INEC must continue to provide timely updates and accessible verification channels to shut down rumors and fake news, as well as results. In an election season, silence creates vacuum, and vacuum empowers misinformation. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the 2026 FCT Area Council election must be remembered, one, for credibility, transparency, and peace. And for that to happen, all hands must be on deck. We must play our roles responsibly. The NUJ FCT Council remains committed to professional election coverage, but we must also reaffirm our union's mandate, which is to defend press freedom, protect journalists, and hold every institution accountable to the Nigerian people. Once again, we thank INEC for this engagement, and we urge that the commitment made here must be translated during the election day as we are partners in progress. Thank you very much.
This forum is designed to strengthen collaboration and deepen mutual understanding and align expectations between INEC and the media ahead of the FCT Area Council elections. As you are aware, public confidence in the elections is influenced not only by how the process is conducted, but also how it is reported, interpreted, and communicated to the public. The Commission is fully committed to to conducting a peaceful, transparent, and credible and inclusive area council election, and we are aware that the objective cannot be achieved by INEC alone. It requires the support of responsible, professional, and ethical media, and that prioritizes accuracy over speed, and facts over speculation in the public interest. As the election approaches, the media will play a decisive role in the areas of voter education and public enlightenment, countering misinformation and disinformation, providing factual, balanced, and issue-based reporting, and supporting peace through responsible headlines and narratives. In the era of digital and social media, the speed at which information travels is unprecedented. While this presents opportunities for timely updates, it also carries risk. Fake news, misleading content, and unverified reports can undermine trust. This is why this forum is essential to build shared responsibility and reinforce professional standards.
In other words, the FCT Area Council elections are in practice like all the 36 governorship elections that we conduct. Indeed, the FCT's voting population is larger than those of Bayelsa and Ekiti states. This alone draws a lot of public attention to the election in the territory. Besides, because it is the political capital of the country and the seat of government, it attracts the eyes and attention of the entire world. It is therefore important that as we head for the first FCT Area Council elections since the 2022 the Electoral Act extended the tenure by 1 year. You recall that it used to be 3 years, 3-year tenure. And this, the council, the existing councils, were elected under the 2010 Electoral Act. But they were sworn in under the 2022 Electoral Act. And the Electoral Act has made, the tenure of chairman of local governments and councillors 4 years. And this is the first election that we will be conducting since that extension. It is therefore very important, that we pay very close attention to it. Needless to say, voter participation remains a key element in ensuring that elections are free, fair, and credible. And, the rate of voter participation will longer agree has not been optimal. It's like it's been on the decline, since 1999. And so we ought to be able to stem that and then reverse that trend. This is where, of course, you come in, because if you give effective and professional coverage, it will help to go a long way to ginger public confidence in our election. The effective coverage, of course, requires a sound understanding of the legal frameworks governing the process, and of course, the administrative processes that govern the elections. So that means you need to have a full grasp of our Constitution, of our Electoral Act, and of course, of our rules and guidelines. Because those rules and guidelines have the force of law. But of also equal importance, is your integrity and professionalism. For me, this is even more important than your grasp of, the processes and the electoral law, because if you don't use that, if you don't subscribe to and you have a code of conduct for that, if you don't subscribe to that, even you have the best knowledge it will be of much use. So, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to conclude these opening remarks by expressing my profound appreciation to you for your continued partnership with the Commission in ensuring the growth of our fledgling democracy.
Yes, I bring you that professional greeting from the NIPR, and we believe that this is a very timely engagement because stakeholders engagement is a strategic component of what we do as strategic communicators. When everybody is carried along, you're very sure that communication will not suffer. And when communication doesn't suffer, you're very sure that the goal of having credible elections will be attained with very, very little stress. We are at a moment where, and I must say, we are not just preparing for another election in the FCT or even in the nation, but we are preparing for a credibility test of the Nigerian state. In the age where misinformation rules stronger than truth, certainly we know that truth is endangered. We also know that that means the health of democracy itself is threatened. Of course, as the National Commissioner and the INEC Reg has said, elections do not fail these days because of logistics alone. But most importantly, they fail when public perception is lost. Because even before the election, if public perception is very poor, it tells you that even before the ballot is cast, you already have dissatisfaction with the process. And so this engagement today is to recognize that fact that it's not just about the process, and I'm happy they will take us through the processes, but management of information, like my sister NUJ Chair has said, is very, very critical. This is because, of course, it is very important for those who mold public perception to have the right information. It's also very important for us to be armed with facts that will shape the appropriate narratives that will also allow for acceptance of the result and outcome of the election. As NIPR, we understand that democracy survives only when citizens trust both the umpire and the message. That is why we have institutionalized the Nigerian Reputation Perception Index 2025, of course, on the 15th